This episode is brought to you by SmartVestor. Connect with an investing pro near you at RamseySolutions.com/SmartVestor.
All right, let's go to Mike in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Mike, how can we help today?
Hi, yes. I had a question about my life insurance policies. I'm 70 years old. I have 4 whole life insurance policies, which 3 of them I would like to cash in. 1 I wanted to leave for when I do die. It'll pay for my funeral. And I have no debt. The car's paid for, house is paid for, all that stuff. And it accumulates up. The surrender value on those 3 policies would be $70,520.
Okay.
And I'd like to know, my insurance agent is trying to tell me not to cash it in. He says, well, what about your daughter when you die? You want to leave her some money, but she's going to be sitting pretty anyway, because she's going to get the money for my house and all that stuff, So,
oh, yeah. And you have no one dependent upon your income right now, Mike, do you?
Just me and my wife.
Okay. What would your wife do if something happened to you?
I don't know. Good question. But like I said, the house is paid for. She'd still get part of my pension.
Okay.
I signed for that when I got it, and Social Security.
How much will all that equal a month for her?
Probably around $2,200, $2,300.
Okay. And then you'll have $70,000 if you cash all this in. What else do you have saved?
I have variable. I have 3 IRA accounts, 2 are traditional IRAs, and 1 is a Roth. And then I have a couple of other Roth accounts with a different company.
Okay. How much are in all those accounts total, would you say?
About $700,000.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, I would cancel all 3 of these, Mike, and pay for your funeral with the $70,000. I would. Yeah. I mean, because how much are you going to be paying for this whole life policy that you're keeping? And your agent wants you to keep it because he's making a great commission off of it.
Right, and I'm still paying on 3 of the policies.
Oh, that's why the insurance agent wants you to keep it.
Yep. So I would drop them all, Mike.
Okay. And what should I do with that money, though? I mean, can I put it into like a savings account? I'm sure I'm going to have to pay tax on it, right?
Do I? Yeah, you'll have to probably pay for the with life insurance, whatever the capital rate. I'm not sure. Yep. Yeah, I would talk to them to know the tax implications of that, because the growth is different than just a standard investment. But depending on what they invested it in, because that's what usually happens with whole life, is they have invested that money in a really crappy investment. And so, yeah, dependent upon that. But I would ask them that to make sure. But I would just put that $70,000 in a high yield savings, and you can keep it there. Because do you have any liquid cash? I mean, everything else you were saying was tied up into investments. Yes. Do you have any just like cash in a savings account?
Yeah, about $10,000. About
$10,000. Okay. So I would take some of the 70 and put it there. If you want to invest some of it, you can. But you guys can just have a good buffer just in a high yield savings. How old are you guys?
I'm 70. My wife is 68.
Okay.
How long have you been paying on the policies? And do you have an idea how much you've paid over the life?
Yes, the three that I want to sell, I've been paying into probably for about 40 years.
Oh gosh, about how much a year?
About 1,000, I guess, something like that.
All right. On the tax question, again, talk with your tax pro, but if the payout or the surrender amount is more than what you've paid,
put in the growth on it,
you've put in, then you will pay taxes. So, but just figure out what that is. But here's that doesn't change our opinion. Okay. You still want to get that money out because it's not doing you any favors. You don't need to keep those policies. They're not helping you at all. And Rachel explained that.
Right.
Get the cash.
Right.
Do what she said to do with the cash, and cash is king on this. And get out of this bad product.
And you've done such a great job, Mike. I'm like, to be 70 years old, have everything paid for, $700,000 in retirement.
Great job.
So to your point, your daughter, your wife, everyone's going to be okay.
Why keep the 4th one? And I know what you said. You said, I'm keeping the 4th one. I've got 4. I want to surrender 3. Why keep the 4th based on what we've told you? Because you're going to have plenty to cover your funeral.
Well, yeah, but I just figured that if I cash it in, the surrender value on that is $7,800, but the death benefit is $11,450. So I figured that'd be enough for my funeral and maybe a nice dinner afterwards for everybody.
A nice dinner. That's very nice.
It's a $3,000 difference, though, Mike. I just get rid of a crappy product.
I would too. I would get rid of it. You've got plenty of money. and you're going to earn you're going to live a long time, I can tell. So,
I hope so.
Put that money, gain the interest on it, as Rachel told you. You just don't need it. Get rid of them all. Get the cash back. You've paid way too much into these things for way too long.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Hey, thank you so much.
Yeah, appreciate
thanks,
the call.
Mike.
What a nice guy.
So great.
Wants enough to cover his funeral and a nice dinner for everybody.
For everybody after. That's what I'm going to tell people. Go have a great dinner.
I think I'm going to do the same thing.
On your laptop, will you pull up the Ramsey investment calculator?
Yes.
Okay, so Mike said for 40 years, he was putting in, what did he say, $1,000 a year, I think, for these accounts. I don't know I wonder if it was just one of them or if it was all of them. I'm not sure.
Okay, what do you want me to put in?
So he's 70 years old. So he's been doing it for
30 years ago.
30 years ago. So
we'll
do
go age 30.
Age 30 to age 70.
I see what you're doing. And $1,000.
If it's per month on the calculator.
What did he say? $1,000 a year.
A year. So do just do $100 a month.
Bucks. Yeah.
Rate of return, we'll go 10% just to make everyone not freak out on us. God forbid we do 12%, but that is
10%. All right, calculate. This is very exciting.
I'm just curious what. Oh no! Okay.
It would have been $632,400.
You would have had an additional over $600,000, and now he has $70,000. Y'all, that's how crappy whole life is.
That shot to the shins right there.
That hurts.
That hurts.
He would
I can feel it in my shins.
He would have had $1.4 million in investments.
Yeah.
I mean.
Great point here.
So that hurts. So everyone out there, that's how crappy whole life is. And for the actual insurance part of it, life insurance part, it's so expensive.
Yeah.
So go get term life.
At Xander.
And at Xander Insurance, y'all, and call it a day.
I've got so much insurance on me because I had 3 kids, right? And I mean, I've always looked at my wife sideways when I get in bed every night. You know what I mean? Because if I've been a little cranky or not such a good hubs, I might wake up in heaven.
We upped ours the other, literally this past year.
And
I told Winston, I was like, "Are you going to try to kill me? Is this going to be like a 2020 Dateline?"
I'm telling you, man.
Situation.
I'm more valuable dead than I am alive. I promise you that. The kids are teenagers. She doesn't need me around the house anymore. I don't have to do baths. I don't have to do homework. I mean, what am I doing?
She doesn't need your physical labor.
But the point is, you know why I got so much? For peace of mind, and it's so unbelievably inexpensive.
So cheap. It's
so cheap. If you're decently healthy, it's going to be really cheap. And that investment calculator exercise, what a great exercise that was. Poor guy.
Oh, man.
$40,000 he's put in.
Oh, and what that could have grown to. And now it's just $70,000 is what it'll be.
And then the insurance agent is still sticking it to him.
Oh, man.
Come on, Mike.
Such a bad product.
Don't get out of it.
They did it. There you go.
They did it. Oh, they put it up there. Thank you, James.
I know.
I should have plugged into my fancy little cord
Mike's doing great.
Mike's doing great.
He's doing fine. He's doing fine. But this is a lesson for all of you listening.
Yeah.
Get term life insurance.
Yeah.
Do not fall for universal, whole life, all these other policies.
And if you get a lot of life insurance, get a taster. Somebody to taste your food. Like the kings used to. You know what I mean? Back in the medieval age, they were never sure if their food was poisoned. And so if they gave them a bowl of porridge, they had to have a taster.
I believe it.
And if that poor sucker keeled over, then the king was like, hey,
I ain't taking that porridge.
So
I had an espresso martini recently, and the bartender was telling us that they always drop 3 coffee beans in the top of an espresso martini.
Yeah, ambiance.
And they said if there's ever 4, don't drink it, because it was a sign back in like the 30s or something. If they dropped 4 coffee beans, it meant that it was poisonous.
Oh.
And so look out, Ken, for your porridge and your
That's the last thing that bartender needed to tell you. Rachel, by the way, if you don't know her well,
I believe it all.
She's never, ever met a conspiracy theory she didn't believe. I mean, ever. So now, PSA from Rachel.
I don't know.
4 coffee beans in the espresso martini. Run, flee for the door.
The earth is not flat. I don't believe that one.
Oh, that's good to know.